Hey everybody, it's Cindy McMahon with Hunt Real Estate. I am going to address the biggest question that I am getting these days, which is the real estate market going to crash? I am coming at you the end of March of 2022. We have, high inflation, higher than we've had in about 40 years, high gas prices, and a war in Ukraine. So there's a lot of, I think, fear in the marketplace in general, and people are kind of taking a wait and see approach. The question about whether or not the housing market is going to crash is a question that I've been fielding now probably for the last 2 years. People have been concerned about that because obviously we had a big recession that was largely fueled by high real estate prices and bad loans. And we came out of that and started to recover and had some good market years. And then we had COVID, which changed everything. So people have that memory in their mind and they are wondering whether or not the real estate market is going to crash. I don't have a crystal ball, but this is the field that I'm in and I've been in it for a long time. So I'm going to tell you what I think about it and what I'm listening to other experts and what the market data is telling me for the capital region right now. So I'm coming to you from the Albany, New York area. I do a lot of business in Rensselaer County and all over the region here, and keep a close eye on that. Not only do I have that experience, but I also have the experience of owning a couple of vacation rental properties, one in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and another one down in Florida, in Sebastian, which not a lot of people know where that is. It's between Cocoa Beach and Vero Beach on the east coast of Florida. So I keep my eye on the pulse of real estate, even in my spare time if I'm not selling real estate. So one of the things I want to share with everybody, I think everybody's wondering, is it still a really good time to sell? Yes, it's still a really good time to sell, especially in our area. Our area is an area where prices have definitely increased. They are out of reach for some buyers, but for the majority of buyers can afford to buy a home today because it hasn't increased so much beyond their reach. The places where buyers are really, really struggling to buy a home and to be able to afford a home at current, average sale prices are places like Cape Cod or on the coast or any place that's a vacation type escape area, or on, the California coastline, any big cities that you see. Prices have become so astronomical. Also, you're seeing that down like in Austin, Texas, even Boise, Idaho, for whatever reason. Okay, these prices have gone so crazy that the average wage earner cannot afford to buy a home. They can't even really afford to rent because rental prices have gone up so much. In those areas, I think as interest rates rise, we're going to see prices come down fairly dramatically because people are just not going to be able to afford a home, and the interest rates are going to actually soften the market a little bit in those areas. But in our area and other areas like our area where we have a great working class, we have a lot of people who are out looking for homes and still trying to find those homes. They're not coming on the market so much. So in areas that are not vacation destinations, homes are still going to be fairly affordable, even with a rise in interest rates. And guys, understand the historical perspective on interest rates. Interest rates at 4% even, or even 5%, are not very high. When I first got in the business during the boom years of 04, 05, 06, interest rates were hovering around 6%. And everybody thought that was fantastic. So if interest rates go up even a whole point this year, the payments are still going to be very affordable. And one of the other reasons why it is so important to own your own home is, first of all, what's happening with rentals. Rentals have gone through the roof too. Rentals are up 16 to 20% in the country right now. So it's very expensive to rent a home or rent an apartment. And you're not putting anything towards your future or doing anything, with yourself financially. If you are renting and paying somebody else, you're just basically helping them pay their mortgage and secure their future. So it is still a good time to buy. It is a challenging time to buy. But once you get into that home, you are going to have an interest rate that is fixed. It is not going to inflate. It will be the same interest rate for the life of the property. And if interest rates go way down again, you can always refinance. So it's a hedge against inflation, and it's going to help you build your wealth. So buying a home is still a very good option in communities like the Albany capital region and other ones across the country. Is it still a great time to sell? It is a fantastic time to sell. I think the issue right now with some sellers is that they were maybe planning on selling this spring and starting to look or move. And now they feel like, wow, maybe I shouldn't do that because I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with the economy. And I can understand where they're coming from with that. But if you are a homeowner who actually owns another home somewhere else, like say you've already bought that vacation home or that second home or that snowbird house, and it's somewhere, else, and you already own that home, selling your home now is probably the very best time that you could do that. And the reason for that is there is even less inventory than there was last year. So the prices have gone up. You do need to listen to an agent in terms of pricing, an experienced agent in terms of pricing, because one of the things we are seeing is sellers are pricing their homes so high, and then they're having to sit on the market a little bit and get actually price reduced, because buyers are smart and they're sophisticated and they're pretty savvy, and they're not going to overpay for a house. They will look at a house that's priced well and they will bid more. We're seeing between 10 and 20% more than the asking price on homes that are priced well. So it's definitely still a fantastic time to sell your home. The other thing that makes it a great time to sell your home, and I think this is important for a lot of people, because I often talk with sellers and they say, well, I'm not ready. I have to finish this room, or I have to, I was going to do this to my house. Buyers are a lot more willing today to take on a project or to buy a home that is not perfect. When the market first started to recover after the recession in like 2017, 2018, buyers were extremely picky about what they would do and what they would not do. If you had the wrong color on your wall, your house would sit around. That is not the case anymore. So don't worry too much about what you might think you might need to do to your house to get it ready. Interview an agent, interview a couple of agents, talk to them, get ideas on what you can do to get it ready to sell. Very often it's very little, and there are great ways that you can stage and prep your home for market and get it on the market, and without too much outlay of cash. You don't have to do a renovation to your kitchen or update your bathrooms today. Now in a couple years that might change, so it's another reason why it's a great time for you to put your house on the market. So I think that's it for today. We might see lower sales numbers, so you might feel like, oh boy, the crash is coming, if you're not really analyzing that data. The reason why you're seeing lower sales numbers is because there's less homes for sale. So I have a list probably an arm's length long of buyers who would like to buy a home, but they can't. They just can't find one. So that is the news today. And if you have any questions, I am happy to answer them. I'm happy to talk with you about this. I'm happy to help you find a home in another part of the country. I know lots of agents in different parts of the country, as well as lenders, and I could hook you up. I can give you some advice in that department. And I would also be happy to help you get your house ready for sale and shepherd you through that process, because it's a wild ride, let me tell you, when you're selling your house in the post-COVID days. So take good care. It's Cindy McMahon, Hunt Real Estate, the McMahon and Crosby team, 518-496-1299. Talk to you soon.